You coming, Morris? Morris! Come on, here's breakfast. Oh, big stretch. Good morning, good boy. There's Mart. Mart don't waste no time. And there's Stripey. He's very patient about the food. Hi. Hello, Morris, good boy. There's Ruby. Hopefully her cameras will finish calibrating today. I'm ready to have autopilot back. You know, you can't do traffic aware cruise control either. Good morning, Tux. Good morning. Here, come get some of your food. It's going to be a pretty day today. Don and I should be able to get in our walk this morning, at least unless he has a reason we can't go for work. Which sometimes he doesn't know in advance. All kitties accounted for and doing well. Hearty appetites this morning, hearty appetites. Hey, Gray. There's none of those boys are coming up the stairs, I promise. No, Marty, don't come out of the warm spot. Mom's leaving. I just moved Tux's food away from him so he won't have people trying to come up and snag it. No, you can't come get in the car with me. I love you though. Oh goodness. Good morning, Ruby. Thank you so much for opening my door. Well, it's awesome that I can press the pause for the music on the scroll wheel again. Really awesome, because I do that a lot. Every time I go to film, I've got to stop the music or stop the Audible book. It's great to be able to do it again. So Ruby is still at 99% calibrating the new cameras and not done yet. And I'm well over 150 miles. I'm probably approaching 200 miles. So I know others that have had it get to that point and it take a while also. So I don't know. I'm going to be patient, probably several hundred more miles. And, you know, if I get 500 miles for sure, I'll be asking service about it. Service did ask me for feedback last night in the app. I don't know that I had seen that before. There was a star rating and then there was a feedback box, and I gave them 5 stars and I gave them some feedback. So anyway, that was kind of new that you get an option to do that after your service visit. At least I hadn't seen it before that I remembered. Wow, I wish traffic was this light the whole way in the mornings. This is not bad at all right in this section of road. I'm sure it's just a pocket that I'm in. But seriously. And just to say, we must be getting really close to the primary date, which I honestly don't know what date that is. I'm sure Don will tell me so we can go vote, but all of these political signs are up along the side of the road now, and I just don't like it. I don't care what candidate it is, I just don't want to see that stuff. The only reason why you go to the poll to vote for somebody is party and the fact that you saw their name on the side, on a sign on the side of the road. I would say that that's not enough research to know you should vote for that person. So I'm headed back to the dentist this morning. I'm afraid part of the filling came out last night when I flossed. And I'm in a small amount of pain, and mostly it's just stressing me. So I'm gonna let her go look at it and make sure everything's okay. And best case scenario, she says, I don't know what it was that was in your mouth last night and everything looks great. Have a nice day. And I guess worst case is she's got to try to go back in there and re-put the filling in. But that wouldn't mean drilling or more Novocaine or anything, right? That would just be dry the tooth surface, clean it off a little bit. Well, if she needs to drill for a second, I'm going to tell her not to, just get it done, get her done. That was... I don't want any more needles to take, and you blame me. I probably could handle it for just a minute, as long as it wasn't extensive, right? I don't know. Let's just hope she's going to look in my mouth and say everything's okay. I wanted to go walk with Dawn. It's a nice morning out. We haven't walked our regular schedule this week. I feel stressed. I really want to go walk. I have some other things going on later today that it might not work out to walk then either. So I have my passport appointment at 11 just to complicate things a little more. But I did bring the passport stuff with me. So I don't have to technically go back to the house before my passport appointment. That's in Angier where I took Johnny, so that's south of the house. You know, the more rural post office one, I guess it's still in Wake County. It might be one county down, I'm not sure right this second. But at any point, that more rural post office, it was quicker to get an appointment. So I was willing to drive south since they've done excellent every time I've gone to that location. Recommend if you're trying to get in that you risk going down there, drive a little farther to go down there. This is definitely more times this week than I want to be on I-40, the belt line, 540, whatever you want to call it in this spot. I think technically it's I-40 here. I don't want to be on it any week, but I've been on it more this week than I want to for sure. You can definitely tell it's during the morning commute, although out near RTP, which is about 10 miles away, Research Triangle Park, it's worse. Alright, I'm here. It wasn't too bad getting over here. I probably 5 extra minutes of traffic maybe. Don says we can walk after my passport appointment and not to stress about it. His conference call going forward has been cut from 2 hours to 1 hour. They're basically in a standby mode now until they can implement. You know, the work is done. They're kind of on partial hiatus. Maintain, but they're sort of done with the work until they cut over. I think that's going to be in June now. So his hours will come down some prior to that. He's ready. I'm ready. Alright, all was good at the dentist. Maybe it was a piece of resin left over from the procedure that was sort of stuck to my tooth. But at any point, they took an x-ray. They did a visual inspection. They flossed a couple different times. And it looks fine. So I can go away for the weekend. No worries. If it's held up for 24 hours, it's going to hold up. All is good. I'm glad I came to get it checked out. It's 9 o'clock now. I am going to head home, and I should have about an hour maybe before I have to head to the passport office. So all is good. Are you helping? We're going to build the jungle tree house. Yeah, those parts behind you. Are you going to help? Good girl. Yeah, 41424. It appears that I have most of those parts. I found the set by looking up this solar panel. It took me a minute. There was only one set that includes that exact solar panel. And it's this one. And you can see the bridge and the slide and the tree branch and trunk, and it looks like it's all here. I've seen the minifigures. I've seen the dresser drawer and the beds. I've got 20 minutes. Alright, I pulled myself away from the Legos and I'm on my way to the passport. The post office in Angier. I saw Gypsy walking on the driveway, but he came down from in front of me and then went off right here where he usually goes. Has not been up on the front porch to eat. Haven't seen him up to eat for a little while. He looked like he was walking with a little bit of a limp. I was really hoping he'd come up on the front porch and I could get a better look, although I don't know how I would get him assistance, because A, he'd have to be willing to come up, and B, he'd have to be willing to go in the crate again. I don't think it's happening. Hopefully it's nothing serious. I mean, it really didn't look serious. His weight looked good. He seemed happy-go-lucky, but his gait wasn't just quite what I expected. Although I haven't seen him walk a lot, so I don't know that that's a new thing or an old thing. And I did see Smokey one night this past week. I think I told you guys that. Like at 9 o'clock, I turned on the outside light to go get the cat bowls, and there he was finishing up whatever everybody else hadn't eaten. So I've seen him recently. He's still out there doing his thing, even though I don't see him and Gypsy particularly often. I have seen them both this week. It's always pretty countryside heading over to Andrew via the back roads. Horses, tractors, farmland. I saw some really pretty bearded iris out blooming. Yes, Ruby, I'll slow down. Ton was funny when we watched the video of me on the turnpike where I probably for the first time ever was caught speeding. It really was an accident. I could have put on autopilot, I wouldn't be having that problem. It's a pretty big solar farm here coming into town. Nice guy doing the passports, had a steady stream of people. He was just running a little behind. It is what it is. Last time I dealt with him, this time too, he's just the nicest person, so you really can't get upset waiting a few minutes when the person is so pleasant and efficient. It's just that you know, that paperwork's got to be just right. And anyway, it's all handled and I'm on my way back to the house. I guess it took me about 15 minutes longer than I had originally figured. Well, Don Miller, you would think that it was hot out here today.
Well, it says it's almost 70. It said 68 at home.
Yeah, it's plenty warm, especially midday and in the sun. We're gonna just squeak it in. Don's gonna go run home and I'm just gonna leave from the park to go get Johnny. That's how close we're squeaking it in.
Yeah, you still might be a little late.
And I'm crossing the street, so don't run over me.
You got it on video.
Right, I'm filming you.
And you're perfect time.
Oh yeah, 121, I'm sitting pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I gotta go around to the back side of the school today. Some special stuff.
Oh.
Can't go in the main gate.
Oh.
It's much easier on me. There's no narrow. It's a big old wide open gate. It's a huge parking lot. It's easy.
Yeah, it makes sense. Okay.
All right, well, you get in the rest of that exercise now.
Yes, ma'am, I am. I'm gonna run home. Kiss,
all right,
kiss.
bye. Kiss, kiss. We did not do any run intervals today. Don leaves that for me to decide when and how long. But we did walk pretty good pace. Something a little over 21 minutes, I guess. 21 minutes a mile. I know that might seem slow, but I assure you that I'm moving pretty good clip there for me. I've got my afternoon iced coffee in the car. in an insulated bag with a nice block. I can't wait. Well, we're up to 73 degrees out there now. It's really pretty. Couple of annoying drivers on the way in this afternoon, but I guess that's actually most days. They just, back there at the split, the Burge, the split, they just basically came to a stop trying to change lanes, and then, yeah, you don't normally come to a stop in the middle of 45-mile-an-hour traffic. So that was just kind of dangerous. Glad to have gotten through that okay, like I am every day when I'm past that area of the road. Ruby's cameras still are not calibrated. I'm thinking after I get Johnny, I'm going to pull into St. Monica's and do a reboot. It can't hurt anything. So I have Johnny, and I am at St. Monica's, and I am going to reboot the car just to see if that will help. I suppose the other option would be to, you know, from the screens, tell it to calibrate the cameras again. I don't know if it would start back at the beginning or tell me it's in progress. I'm not saying there's anything wrong. I'm just getting impatient. I probably won't go to Tesla service unless they're not calibrated by 500 miles. So, you know, say Wednesday of next week, if the calibration hasn't finished, I would ask them about it. So I just want to say that I've experienced the same thing in Ruby now that Don and I experienced in Jules. It stayed dark for a really long time, probably as much time as normal, but there was no Tesla T as there has been in the past. So that's a little odd. It's still showing calibration in progress in the same level, so no harm, no foul, no change. But yeah, there was no Tesla T on the reboot. That was a little odd. But the you know, screens went dark and the AC went off for a bit. So I believe that it did the reboot. All right, I did get the Jungle Rescue Center put back together. Yay!